Police officers who've died in the line of duty in the last 12 months, they will today be remembered at the National Police Commemoration Day. It's happening at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Deputy President Paul Mashatile is expected to join families of the police officers and reservists who lost their lives in the line of duty at the annual commemoration. And so perhaps for more at this hour, let's paint that picture. Dludla, our reporter, is standing by for that. Calvin, a very good morning. Talk to us about the significance of this day. If we're going to balance honouring the fallen with the realities in the policing system at large, what's emerging?
Good morning to you and to our SABC viewers at home. Yes, indeed, you are here at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. That is where men and women in blue who died in the line of duty are going to be remembered today. But because of time, let me introduce the national spokesperson of the South African Police Service. I'm talking about Brigadier Athlenda Mathe. Thank you very much for your time. When we were talking off air, you told me that this will be an emotional event.
Well, absolutely. A very good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. It's a very emotional day for the families of the police officers that died in the line of duty, for all of us that have lost our fellow colleagues in the fight against crime. So this year we are honouring and paying tribute to 27 police officers that died in the line of duty. 19 of them were shot and killed in the line of duty. About 6 of them died as a result of motor vehicle collisions. Some of them died while they were manning roadblocks and they were hit by speeding vehicles. One was hit by a blunt force to the head. So this just goes to show that, you know, policing is not an easy calling, you know, and I call it a calling because it's not an 8 to 5. It's a 24/7, 365 days a year, you know, calling, and it's about dedication, it's about commitment. So today we are simply saying thank you to our police officers that paid the ultimate sacrifice to serve and protect you and me, the people of South Africa. So we are expecting our Deputy President, Mr. Mashatile, to lead this procession, these proceedings today. He will be leading the wreath-laying ceremony, which will signify the gratitude on behalf of government, but also on behalf of the people of South Africa. We'll also have the acting minister also laying the wreath, as well as the national commissioner on behalf of all the men and women in blue in this country.
It will be also an emotional engagement with the families of the deceased, because their sons and daughters died in the line of duty protecting South African citizens.
Absolutely, and that is why we say it is a calling, because every day when a police officer wakes up, they don't know whether they will return home or not, but yet they still choose the badge. They still choose to stay loyal to the badge. They still choose the dedication and commitment. So that is why today we are really honoring their memory. As you can see on my right is the wall of remembrance. All 27 of them, their names have been engraved on the wall so that they may never be forgotten, but also to say thank you for the sacrifices. Thank you for putting your lives after South Africans, you know, before the people of this country. So we'd really like to urge our police officers out there that are still there to say, carry the baton for these police officers. Continue with the fight against crime. We cannot be defeated by criminals. This should not deter you. Let this be motivation to continue to prevent and combat crime. And most importantly, do not die with the resources that we have given you. Do not die with firearms inside your holster. Go out there, defend the badge, but most importantly, defend law-abiding citizens.
I saw yesterday that most of them were constables. 10 of them were constable, and some of them were sergeants. That tells you, Athlenda, that they were new in the employ. So as young as 34, as young as 35, new police officers dying in the hands of criminals.
You know, the youngest that passed on of the 27 is actually 29 years old. He had about 2 years service, and then we have one that was also 34. So you fairly new police officers, and not enough pensions. Most of them were breadwinners. We are talking about fathers, mothers, sisters and brothers. You understand? Most of them breadwinners. But that is why, as the SAPS, we then established in 2010 already the South African Police Service Education Trust Fund, so that we can ensure that we keep their children in schools. We pay for the school fees of the children of the police officers that have died in the line of duty. We pay for their stationery and we pay for their school uniforms and so on. But remember, we rely on sponsors and donations. But I'm encouraged, with encouraging that since its establishment up until now, 21 million rand has been raised towards the educational needs of these children that assist us so that we keep these kids in school. More than 140 have already have their diplomas and degrees, about 46, more than 46 are matriculants. So it really does go a long way. But the message really is to say, South Africans, let us work together to stop the police killings.
That is what I was about to ask you, because in most cases you would see that police officials are attending maybe domestic disputes. Because when I read what you sent yesterday, I saw that there was a police officer that attended a domestic dispute, but he ended up dying. So your message to communities now, to the public, because what police are doing, they are protecting us.
Well, absolutely. And it talks about the risks associated with policing. It's not an easy calling. You know, that is why it's about dedication. And that is why police officers must be appreciated, because they are really putting the lives of South Africans, the lives of ordinary citizens before their own. When they are faced with danger, they do not turn away like anyone else. They face the danger and they face dangerous criminals. And in that process, unfortunately, some of them, they lose their lives and so on. So they attend to various crime scenes, your CIT, your armed robberies, domestic violence, trying to protect women and children of this country. But in that process, they then lose their lives. Like you've indicated, one was attending to the domestic violence. We also have one who was fairly quite young, I think it was about 32 years old, who was actually off duty. He was actually going to report for duty, and he noticed a robbery in progress. He didn't just stand there, he intervened, and during that intervention, that's when he was shot and killed and so on. Didn't have backup and so on. So we are saying to our men and women in blue, we are here for you. We are providing the resources as management, we are providing the training and so on. Go out there, defend the people of this country and defend yourselves.
Thank you very much, Athlenda.
Thank you.
That was Brigadier Athlenda Mathe. She is the national spokesperson of the South African Police Service, engaging with SABC News about the event of today, saying that this will be an emotional event because they are expecting families of the deceased. I'm talking about 27 police officers who died on duty. We are also expecting the National Commissioner General, Fani Masimula, to also grace the event.